The movie 13 Hours, 2016, begins in 2012, after the fall of Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. The country is in chaos, with different militant groups fighting for power. Benghazi becomes one of the most dangerous places in the world. Almost every international embassy closes, but the United States still has a small diplomatic compound there, along with a secret CIA base about a mile away. A team of private security contractors, called the Global Response Staff, GRS, protects the CIA base. Jack Silva, a former Navy SEAL, arrives in Benghazi. He is met at the airport by Tyrone Roan Woods, the leader of the GRS team. Jack and Roan are old friends. As they drive to the CIA base, they see how dangerous Benghazi has become. On the way, they get stopped by armed militants who demand to search their car. Roan refuses, warning them that American drones are watching. The militants let them go, but Jack realizes this job will be more dangerous than he thought. At the CIA base, Jack meets the rest of the GRS team: Mark Osgeist, John Tig Teagan, Chris Tonto Peranto, and Dave Boone Benton. They are all experienced fighters who have been working in war zones for years. They joke around but take their job seriously. Jack also meets the CIA chief, who doesn't like the GRS team. He thinks they are just hired guns and doesn't want them interfering with his operations. A few days later, the GRS team is assigned to protect two CIA agents, Vayner and Giuliani, during a meeting with a Libyan oil executive. Jack pretends to be Giuliani's husband to avoid suspicion. The meeting starts fine, but the team notices they are being watched. Roan orders an immediate evacuation. As they drive away, a car starts following them. After a short chase, Roan forces the enemy car to crash. The team returns to base safely, but tensions are rising in Benghazi. Meanwhile, the U.S. ambassador to Libya, Christopher Stevens, arrives in Benghazi. He stays at the diplomatic compound, which is not well protected. The GRS team visits the compound and warns the security team, led by Scott Wickland and Dave Ubben, that the place is not safe. There are not enough guards, and the walls are weak. If there is an attack, help will take too long to arrive. Despite this, Ambassador Stevens wants to stay and help Libya rebuild its government. On September 11, 2012, the anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, the city seems calm during the day. The GRS members call their families, and Jack learns his wife is pregnant. But as the sun sets, trouble begins. A large group of armed militants surrounds the diplomatic compound. They start shooting and set fire to the buildings. Ambassador Stevens, Sean Smith, a communications officer, and the security team rush into a safe room. The attackers can't break in immediately, so they pour fuel and set the building on fire. Back at the CIA base, the GRS team sees the attack happening. They want to help, but the CIA chief orders them to stand down. He says it's not their responsibility, and they should wait for local Libyan forces to respond. But the Libyan forces never come. After waiting for too long, the GRS team decides to go against orders and rush to the compound. On the way, they run into a militant roadblock. A gunfight breaks out, but they manage to fight their way through. When they arrive at the compound, the situation is worse than they expected. The attackers have already set most of the buildings on fire. Wickland escapes but loses track of Ambassador Stevens and Sean Smith. The team searches for them in the burning building and finds Smith dead from smoke inhalation. They cannot find the ambassador. The GRS team gathers the surviving Americans and fights off more attackers before escaping back to the CIA base. They warn the chief that the militants will come for the CIA base next. The team prepares for another fight. Meanwhile, the U.S. government is trying to send help, but there are delays. Reinforcements are stuck in Tripoli, and no military planes are immediately available. Late at night, a group of militants attacks the CIA base. The GRS team fights back fiercely, using their training and experience to hold them off. Hours pass, and more militants arrive with mortars. One mortar hits Oz, severely injuring his arm. Another mortar explodes near Roan, killing him instantly. The team is devastated but continues fighting. Just when it seems they might not survive, a group of friendly Libyan soldiers arrives. The militants retreat. The GRS team, along with the CIA staff and the surviving embassy security members, evacuates to the airport. Before leaving, they recover the body of Ambassador Stevens from a hospital. He did not survive. At the airport, they wait for flights to take them home. The surviving GRS members reflect on the battle and the friends they lost. Jack calls his wife and tells her this will be his last mission. As they board the plane, the movie reveals that most of the team retired after Benghazi. The attack led to international controversy, and the events of that night remain debated to this day. The movie ends with a tribute to the men who fought and died in Benghazi, showing real pictures of Roan, Glenn Doherty, who was killed in the final attack, and the other fallen heroes. It reminds viewers that these men fought bravely, despite being outnumbered and without proper support.